What up, Bronwyn? Look what we got. It's a landline. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Deb C, and place to be, it's Deb C. Boop, that's me. Boop, Deb C. Hey guys, and happy Saturday. Oh, it is the weekend. It's the weekend. So listen, I hope everybody is having a great day and a wonderful start to the weekend. Oh, I'm loving it. So loving it. We're starting off in Western Pennsylvania, cool, which is how I absolutely love it. Being cool. I'm looking out to the left, and I'm seeing some beautiful fall leaves that have not fallen off the trees yet. And I am just absolutely digging it. It's starting off cool. Next week, it's going to be in the mid to high 70s, and I hate it. So let's just love the fall air, the fall crispness in the air. Okay, so I did eventually watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We are going to get down to business, and we're going to recap. We're going to do some snarkiness. This was, there was not a ton going on in this episode. However, there was funny moments. Let's get into it. This week, the big event was Angie, and now listen, I now know his name is Sean. I can't ever remember his name because I just always call him AI Nick Lachey. So that's what I'm going to continue to call him. So the big event this week is Angie and AI Nick Lachey are going to be celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary. Now listen, I kind of agree with Meredith later on when she's like, what kind of theme is this to be celebrating your love? And the theme is mob wives. And I'm going to tell you, I kind of agree with her a little bit, like, how is this showing love? However, I love the fact that Angie is leaning in to the rumors from last season that she's in the Greek mafia. I kind of absolutely, I love it. I love that she has the sense of humor. And I love that she sends this guy out. She sends this guy out to put up these wanted posters, and the pictures on the posters are just like not the greatest pictures of the women. I think it's funny. I love it. I mean, I'm enjoying Angie this season. So first off, Lisa gets her invitation, and she's kind of shook. She's like, it's kind of a mind fuck as to why she invited me, because, you know, we're not in the best place right now. We haven't been talking. But here's the thing. Angie says later on, she's like, I know we're not at the best place right now. We've been friends for 15 years. I would feel bad, I would feel bad if I didn't invite her, and it would feel weird if I didn't invite her. Also, I'm just thinking maybe she is maybe they're required to invite everybody. That's what I'm thinking. So Meredith and Whitney, they meet for drinks. Meredith, I'm wondering if somebody could go back and check. They took their drink. She took their drink orders. I'm wondering if Meredith's was a Grey Goose with a splash of cinnamon. The only reason why I'm laughing is because I cannot remember where it's from, but I remember watching something where I think it was Molly Shannon, and it was on a spoof of the Real Housewives of New Jersey, like on Saturday Night Live. It was all the ladies from Saturday Night Live, and it was with Andy Cohen, and they were doing like a parody of Real Housewives of New Jersey, like this of the reunion from when Ashley pulled Danielle's weave, and I think that's where I saw it. But Molly Shannon was like, I have made a signature cocktail. It is vodka with a shaving of cinnamon and then some more vodka. That's what made me think about that. And nobody else noticed that. It was just me. I guarantee you, nobody else knows that. So Meredith is kind of like a little nervous about heading into this sit down, but she's like, listen, I'll go into it. I would like an apology. If she doesn't apologize, then say la vie, she doesn't apologize. Whitney does apologize for not giving her the benefit of the doubt and just immediately thinking it was her. Meredith's like, okay, well, listen, who do you think it was though? Who do you think is trying to hurt you? And Whitney says, well, it was Meredith. I think it was Meredith. And she said, I have a source who checked into it. And that's what I was told. Meredith tells her, hey, listen, keep an open mind. Make sure your source is credible and doesn't have an agenda. Now listen, as soon as last week, when they said Adam, podcaster, and then they played the voice, it's Adam from Up and Adam. I'm going to tell you, I would trust Adam. I think Adam is credible, and I don't think he has any kind of agenda. So I would trust Adam. Meredith says off camera in the confessional, she doesn't want to be in the middle of it. But she's thinking that Whitney is trying to like rally her to come over to her side and is going to be like, hey, remember those problems that you had with Lisa? How about you come on over to my side? Which I don't think is going to happen. Okay, so we go over to Mary's house. We go over to Mary's house and Robert Jr. and his wife show up. Well, I think her name was Lexi or Lex. Anyways, his wife, they show up. She was trying to call him. She couldn't get through to him. He was like, it didn't go through. And she says, listen, he has changed since she's come into his life. He doesn't listen to me anymore. I want to be that person that he listens to. My line of thinking is like, what kind of marriage is this? Like, they don't live together. Like, I don't know if she lives at the house with Mary. I don't know what kind of marriage this is. I think there's, I don't know. It's odd. It's odd. Hopefully we find out more. But Bronwyn comes over to visit Mary. They talk about their parents. Like, Bronwyn comes out and talks about everything's going on with her daughter and her ex's family. And Mary then talks about like her mother. Like, her mother was all about herself, and turns out they had money, but the mother didn't spend it on anything that the kids needed. It's like, she was like, we always had things like cabbage and something else in the fridge, but that's not going to help me as a kid. I just wanted cereal. So I can tell, listen, I can see now where Mary's coming at when she's dealing with Robert Jr., because she doesn't want to be the kind of mother that her mother was. I get that, but I also think that you can make your son go out and get a job and contribute, you know. I'm just saying. So Bronwyn, they're talking about the ladies. Bronwyn says she's a little worried about going to Angie's party just because she's, quote unquote, on the cusp of being done with the bullshit from Heather. She tells Mary about, she tells her how Lisa told her about what Angie told Heather about her. Wait, I'm confusing myself. She tells Mary that Lisa told her what Angie said to Heather about her. There we go. Did you follow that path? Did you need Dramamine to get through that? Okay. Mary says, hey, from day one, Heather been two-faced. So, and the question is, why would Heather tell Lisa something rude that Angie said about her? And why would you think it's okay to say that? That's what Bronwyn's asking. So listen, they're in the middle of talking about this. And then one of the funniest parts of this whole thing, the phone rang and Bronwyn's reaction, because Mary was like, really? Somebody's going to call me now? And Bronwyn was like, Mary, is that a landline? I mean, in the year of our Lord, 2024, you have a landline? She's like, yeah, I have a landline. And if you noticed at the beginning, what do we have? That's right. We still have a landline. We might be the only house in the block. No. We're not the only house in the block that has a landline. I guarantee we're not. We still have a landline. Comment in the comments. Do you still have a landline? We do. Okay. So the ladies are all getting ready for the Mob Wives party. Listen. And they're talking about who says which fur am I going to wear. I'm going to tell you, all the ladies show up looking fantastic, but they all have furs on. The only one that I think is not a real fur is Bronwyn's. Thank you, Bronwyn. But you know, you don't always have to have a fur. You don't absolutely have to have a fur. You know who looked better in that fur coat? The animal who had it on before you and needed that coat. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. Okay. So Heather comes in. Heather walks in. She's being all fakety fake with Angie. Oh, hi. Oh my God. Congratulations. Fake. Meredith shows up, and this is against AI Nick Lachey's wishes. Because remember that rumor she put out there last year that she heard on main streets of Salt Lake City, the AI Nick Lachey was dipping out on the marriage to Angie with men. Remember, AI Nick Lachey was like, I don't want her in this house. Angie had talked to him about it. And she had said, what'd she say? She said, oh, listen, I invited her. I think she's changed. We'll see. So here comes, like I said, Meredith comes in. She's questioning the theme of the party. I get that because it doesn't really, like, when you hear Mob Wives or Mafia, you're not like, oh, I feel love. I get that. But then she threw some of that shade. I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but she said, I guess this is the way she celebrates her family. What's that mean? That was shady. So Meredith, as soon as Meredith sees Whitney, she goes over to Whitney and starts getting in her ear. She's like, you have to talk to Lisa about what you told me. You have to tell her. You have to tell her. It sounded to me like she was like, listen, the second that she comes in this door, make sure that you get her. Get her. Because you know how that's going to end. That's going to ruin this party. I'm going to tell you what, if I was Angie, I would be pissed. Because you're trying to have this lovely party to celebrate your anniversary to AI Nick Lachey. And then here comes these people screaming. Because you know it's going to be screaming. You know that it's gonna end up in screaming. Even if you've only watched one of these shows, you know it's gonna end up in screaming. It's never quiet. It's never gonna be quiet. So Brittany shows up. She shows up with somebody other than Jared Joel, okay? Aaron. She shows up with Aaron, and isn't Heather immediately like, oh, wait. Turns out, Salt Lake City is a small town when it comes to who hooks up with who. And it seemed to me like Heather did quite a bit of hooking up maybe with Aaron. So they're standing over there. They're having a good time. Here comes Mary walking up to Aaron and being like, hi, Jared. Oh, they correct her and they're like, no, it's not Jared. It's Aaron. She goes over talking to, she makes a face like, goes over and talks to Meredith. She's like, who is that man? She's like, that's Aaron. No, it's not. That's Jared. That's Jared Osmond. Because I went over and was like, hey, Jared. Hey, Jared. She's like, but it's not. They looked him up. They looked up Jared. They looked up Aaron. Or no, they looked up Jared Joel on Google. And they were like, here's Jared Joel. Here's Aaron. Now, listen. In Mary's defense, I mean, listen. They didn't look at like twins, like identical twins, but in Mary's defense, I could kind of see where it's different, where it's not that different. I mean, they do look similar. I'm just saying, I didn't think they looked that far off. So Bronwyn talks to Angie and tells her, hey, listen, Heather told Lisa about this comment that you made about Lisa's parenting skills. And she's like, I'm just telling you because Heather does this. Heather starts these little fires and then walks away and lets them burn. And it feels to me like she's trying to get in the middle of you and Lisa's friendship. Like she's kind of wedging herself in there to get between you and Angie or you and Lisa and affecting your friendship. And Bronwyn says the reason why she's telling her this is, listen, no, she doesn't tell her this. Bronwyn says in confessional, the reason she's saying this is because, hey, listen, Heather has held my feet to the fire for everything that I've said. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If Heather's going to say this, I'm going to hold her accountable too. I'm going to put her laundry, her dirty laundry out there, just like she does with everything I say. Listen, I agree. If you're going to say this, then be ready for it to be out there. If you do it to somebody else, expect it to be done to you. So Lisa and Brittany are talking. They're good. Everything's good. Mary comes up, joins in the discussion. They talk about what happened at Zip Lining the day before. Here comes Heather. Heather's name is brought up. Heather magically appears. Probably because somebody was like, hey, get over there, because they're talking about you. Mary tells Heather, listen, you leave lies everywhere you go. They yell it out. And then eventually everything is good. But listen, I'm not backing Heather too much, but Heather's not wrong. I mean, I don't know that I would say Heather has been a good friend to Mary or like a friend to Mary. But I mean, she hasn't been how Mary has been to her in the past. Like, you know, when she says to Mary, you've been horrible to me, she's not lying. I mean, that whole comment of she's inbred and she don't even know that she looks inbred. And then when Mary was confronted with it, Mary's like, yeah, I said it because you are looking inbred. So there's that. Listen, but afterwards, when Mary was talking to those two young girls about her fight with Heather, that had me rolling. The reason why is because it reminded me like seasons ago. Maybe it was the first or second season, but it reminded me of when Mary went over to Whitney's house and her kids were there. And she was talking about that parishioner who was ejected from the sunroof, and then fell down a hill. And they were like, is she okay? She's like, no, she died. I was like, oh, what? And the kids' faces were like, what? That's what that reminded me of. That had me rolling. So Angie goes over and confronts Heather about what Bronwyn told her. Listen, I'm going to say, Bronwyn isn't going to shy away from stuff. If Bronwyn said something, Bronwyn's going to be like, I said it. Let's talk about it. So Heather's saying she feels like, oh no, they didn't confront Bronwyn yet. Anyways, so Angie is talking to Heather. Heather is saying, hey, listen, I feel like something has shifted in you and you no longer support Lisa. Now, here's my opinion. Angie's finally speaking up. Like, she's finally kind of being like, listen, I'm not going to just, I'm not just going to support every single thing you say, Lisa. So I'm going to speak up. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to, that's it. I'm not going to be your parakeet. Also, didn't Lisa was the one who at first kind of called out Angie with her parenting. Like, remember like a couple episodes ago when they were in Milwaukee and she's like, oh yeah, that's right. Why don't you call Electra just like you always do? When you don't want to talk to me anymore, you call Electra. I mean, Lisa was the one that brought up kids first. So I'm not saying it's right to talk about parenting. However, Lisa did bring it up first. So they say, okay, let's go and talk to Bronwyn about this. They go over, talk to Bronwyn. Like I said, Bronwyn, she wasn't going to shy away from it. She was like, yeah, okay, let's talk about it. So Heather says to Bronwyn, why are you getting in the middle of our friendship? Meaning Heather and Angie's friendship. And then she says something that had to make me laugh. I care deeply about her, meaning Heather cares deeply about Angie. Are you kidding me? You gotta be fucking joking with me, because listen, if you care that deeply about Angie, then you wouldn't be telling Lisa what she said. Oh, I care deeply about her. My ass. So Bronwyn comes back and is like, you think you're the head bitch in charge, managing everyone's relationships, right? Right? You think you're the HBIC, but you're not. And then after that, Heather just walks away. She's like, well, if you are going to believe her, meaning Bronwyn, over me, then I don't know what to say. And then just walks away. And just walks away without letting anybody respond. Maylee, you're right. She walked away. She can't handle it. And Bronwyn told her, listen, my opinion, Bronwyn had told Angie what Heather told Lisa, because listen, if Heather is going to call her out, then like I said, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Also, just like Bronwyn said, Heather wants to come off as this good guy, keep her hands clean. But hear me now, she is the side sniper. She is the side sniper. Just like on New York. I'm going to say this right now. Jenna effing Lyons is a side sniper. Jenna's shy. Jenna's the older lady. But listen, Jenna is the side sniper. She's playing all shy. She's playing all I don't remember. She's side sniper, just like Heather Gay is a side sniper. Yeah, also, like I said, if Heather cares so deeply for Angie, why'd you tell Lisa what Angie said? I don't buy that. Okay, so listen, this to me was the best part of the whole episode, okay? Who shows up? Who the fuck shows up? And I'm going to promise you, the second that Jared Joel walked through that door, I can guarantee you, Maylee's reaction to Jared Joel walking in would have been my reaction. That would have been my reaction. Because whenever he walked through that door, I yelled and I almost fell right out of my chair. But listen, because when she was like, when Maylee was like, Holy shit, fuck. That's exactly what I would have said. Brittany looked like she saw a ghost. Brittany looked like she just saw a ghost. So, listen, but then Mary, as soon as Mary saw them, I was like, I think Mary is thinking like, how is there two of them? Jared Joel's already here. Who's this Jared Joel? This Jared Joel. Her face had me cracking. So as it turns out, how did he get there? Well, Justin, Whitney's husband, texted him. I guess they're friends. He texted him, hey, I'm at this party. Brittany's here. Why don't you show up? Right? So, and then Whitney's like, he texted him, but he didn't know what he was doing. Then afterward, Justin is like, he knew exactly what he's doing, Whitney. Don't be lying. He knew. Now, I'm going to get on my soapbox right now. This is another one of my pet peeves. When Justin, listen, this isn't Justin's party. Justin isn't throwing this party, okay? But he goes and invites somebody. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. When you're at a party and then somebody's like, oh, hey, I'm just going to invite so-and-so to the party. He wasn't invited. And you don't even know this person. Jared Joel comes in and she's like, oh, are you a male stripper or something? And then she's forced to make conversation with him about grapes. And I was like, no. I hate when people do that. When people interrupt me and when people just invite people to something, a party that that's not their party. I hate that. Also, I'm kind of living for Bronwyn's lack of enthusiasm. When Brittany's standing there, she's like, Bronwyn's like, please don't tell me you want a hug. Do you want a hug? She's like, yeah. Then she's forced to hug her. Oh, I feel ya. I feel you, Bronwyn. So Jared Joel says, I call BS on this because he's like, listen, I didn't come here to interrupt your date. But I call bullshit on that because listen, he texted you, Brittany's here. I guarantee I call bullshit that you didn't want to interrupt the date. So, then listen, he's talking to Mary. No. Aaron's talking to Mary and Mary's like, how long have you guys been dating? And Aaron says a month. Was there a month in between? It couldn't have been a month in between Milwaukee and this party. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting. So they go outside. Jared Joel and Brittany go outside. They talk. He's like, I'm here because I miss you. She admits she loves him. And then he's like, I can leave. If you want me to leave, I can leave. She says no. But I'm going to tell you what. She should have said yes. Yes, leave. Like, I was here first. She obviously isn't going to be able to have a good time because he's there and she's conflicted. Here's the opinion that I have. Bullshit on both of you two. The person I feel the worst for in this situation is Aaron, because I feel like Aaron is catching some feelings for Brittany, and it looks to me like she's just stringing him along, like Jared Joel did to her. And not what Jared Joel was doing to her. And she doing that to Aaron. Aaron, you need to take your fine self and your velvet smoking jacket. You need to go out and find somebody else. Not Heather. You need to go out and find somebody else on these mean streets. Because from what I understand from watching stuff on the internet, listen, swinging is more prevalent than you would think. On those mean streets. On those sassy mean streets. Okay. So, the big blow up is coming. So, Whitney is talking. Whitney talks to Lisa. Tells her what she found out. She's like, I had somebody reach out to this social media account. They narrowed it down. They said you. This went from 0 to 100 in no time. Lisa's, Lisa's getting very, very excited, very verbal, and she denies it. She says, well, they got bad info. And who is it? Who is it? Because I'm going to sue them. Whitney is not saying anybody's name, which I was like, oh my God, I hope Adam doesn't get sued. Cause I think he's reliable. I would trust him. So she's like, I'm going to sue him. And then they go to the confessional. I thought this was interesting because she said in the confessional something like, little girl, if you actually made your jewelry, you wouldn't have to fabricate things like this. I thought that was interesting that she said that. I'm just saying. So now it's really escalated because Lisa's screaming. She's screaming at this party and she gets Sean, her private cybersecurity or whatever, on the phone with like quickness. Like, is he just sitting by the phone, like trying to put out these fires that she's saying is going on? So she's saying, listen, I'm being accused of something I didn't do. I want to go the distance on there. I want to get police involved in Utah and in LA, which listen, how do you know that they're in LA? I mean, I would think you would say Utah, but why would you just all of a sudden say LA? And then after all that, she's like, and I'm sending you the bill. She's sending Whitney Drew the bill. She's like, you're going to be paying for this. I'm sending you the bill. So then Lisa goes over, starts confronting Justin, saying your wife's a liar. Your wife's lying. She's a liar. He's like, of course. He's going to defend his wife. He's like, my wife is not an effing liar. She doesn't lie. She's not a liar. And it looks like it's getting heated. Like, it looks like then Seth what's his name? It's not Seth. What's Lisa Barlow's husband's name? I don't even know. Chip? That's what his name's going to be. His name's going to be Chip. So Chip's like, don't you start talking about my wife like that. So it looks like there's going to be pushing and shoving. AI Nick Lachey looks like, the fuck is this? I just wanted to have a nice party. He thought the problem was going to be with Meredith. As it turns out, nope, that's not the case. Although, listen, Meredith had a hand in this because she was one who was like, you got to talk to her now. And as soon as Lisa came in the room, she told her, you better go up there and bum rush her and get her and tell her this. Listen, this is crazy. This is crazy. So in the comments, let me know, number one, do you have a landline? Number two, tell me what you thought of this week's episode. And with that being said, if nobody told you yet today, you're loved, seen, and heard, please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world so it comes right back at you. Please take care of one another. Be aware of your surroundings. Be safe. Hydrate often with water. And if you're someplace in a situation where there's danger, please, whether it be weather related or not, please be mindful, be aware, be smart, be safe, and know that Dolly and I are sending our love and thoughts and prayers and all positive energy your way. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.